Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today what we're going to be doing is my first of my die cutting technique tutorials. This is a split die cut, and it's basically you cut two dies, one in black, one in gold, or whatever colour you want. Contrasting colours are good though, and then you just switch them over. So it's a really simple technique to do this one. I'm going to do it a little bit different to how most people do it. A lot of people cut into the card, inlay the die, add the little pieces onto tape, but no, too difficult. So I'm going to show you an easy way of doing this one. And also the benefit is with your leftovers, you get to make another one which goes the opposite way, look. So you get 2 for 1. So what I'm going to do is start by showing you how I go about this process, and just a quick thank you to everybody that has subscribed, liked and commented on my channel. I really appreciate it, and some of you have shared it, which is really nice. So I'll start with the end, if you like. So I choose what my base card's going to be, or the top layer of my, the next layer of my base card's going to be. Measure that, then I cut down 2 pieces exactly the same size of what I want the matinee to be, which is always 1/4 of an inch or ½ centimetre smaller. So it doesn't matter what size card you're making this on, it's going to suit the die that you're cutting really. So make sure your die fits on it. Choose your size that your die is going to fit on, like the whole die, not half a die, and then cut 2 identical pieces. Then you do your next layer, which is 1/4 of an inch or ½ an inch bigger, so that it matinees onto that, and then I would be putting this onto another card base as well. So I'm just going to go this far though, because my channel's all about know-how. So you get 2 pieces. Now I've chosen 4x6, I believe they are. So what I'm going to do is cut them down to 2x6, each of them, so they're the same. And this is how I start, okay? So do it this way. So you end up with your 2 pieces. So you've got your 2 pieces, and then you're going to do it again. So just cut these into 2x6, or whatever size you've decided to do. Like that. So we've got 2 identical pieces there. So now what you do is you take 2, and these are what you're going to be working on. You're just going to split them, and then you've obviously got the opposites the other way around. So you've got these 2 that go that way. Okay, so I'm just going to move my guillotine out of the way. Changed my mind. I'm going to need the guillotine, so I'm leaving it there. So what I've done here is I've cut out 2 of the coloured dies that we're using. So because you've started with these 2 colours, then just cut your dies out twice in the same 2 colours. Okay, so we've got gold and a silver here. Now it doesn't matter what sort of die you use, but I'll just point out with this one. So with this one, when I split it in half, the only bit that came out of the die, because you can see there's nothing attached, it's not attached to any side or anything, was this little piece here. So if that happens, you just have to remember to save it, because you're going to have to glue it on as an extra. Okay, so there's the 2 little pieces, and that was the only piece that came out of that one. But because this is a more symmetrical die, nothing, because it goes straight down the middle there, is going to actually fall out. So really good to use a symmetrical die, that, or well, any die really, it doesn't matter about it being symmetrical, to be honest. It's just where you're going to cut halfway, and you can do horizontal cuts as well. You can do the half gold at top, half silver at the bottom, perfectly fine. But just where you're going to be cutting, you don't want, like if you were cutting along there for instance, you'd have that, you know, little piece there, that little top there would have to be saved if you cut off it and put it back in. So just bear that in mind. What you could do is cut one out, cut it in half, see how it goes. So my next stage is I like to put these 2 together exactly. Now these are going to move around a little bit, and to be honest, they're not part of my centre cut, so I'm not going to worry about lining them up. It's more important that I get these 2 lined up perfectly, because I put them through on my guillotine at the same time, and then I know they're exactly the same. So what I do is bring it over, and they're going to move a little bit, so I have to keep realigning them, and then I get them over to the edge. Hopefully you can see that. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit more without wobbling you too much. Hold on tight guys, that's the wrong way. So I just get it onto the edge, and that point is not on this bit because it's just a holder. So that bit there, and then this V, so that can come over a little bit more. Make sure that my top's lined up. Make sure they're all lined up, so they're not off a little bit. And then hold on tight and go through both. Okay, so now you've got your split dies, and you can see there's no little pieces falling out anywhere that I have to save. So if there are, make sure you save them. If you've got any little droppings that are falling down here, save them. That was a funny word, wasn't it? Droppings. So now you can see that when I position these back together like this, opposites, you can see that they fit perfectly because we cut them together. So that's the key, cut them together. Now what we do is we take our two splits. So we'll just do one of these today. We'll split it that way. So we've got our two pieces like that coming back together. And you're just going to work on one. So obviously you're going to put the opposite onto here. So you just decide. Now if you were going to put a border sentiment or a name plaque or something like that, you'd put it up a little bit higher. But obviously, as you know, I'm all about the know-how, so this probably won't end up being a finished card. So what I'm going to do is just add some glue. And the other thing you need to do is make sure that you get the glue to all of these little points. So what I like to do with my glue is just dab it all over like this, just spot it if you like, little spots everywhere, droplets, just all the way up like that. I'm just going to hold it there. You can use tweezers as well if it gets fiddly. And then I'll take my baby finger. Now if you're allergic to glue or anything, please don't do this. And I'll just use it just to smear, just to make sure I'm coming into that edge, because we don't want that edge to lift, because we need it to look like it's part of the colour of the card, like an illusion if you like. So just going to glue that down, and then we go to the edge. I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then I'll just decide where I want it and hold your die up in the air and just get that edge perfect. So just get the edge in first, because you don't want glue all over your card where you don't want it to be, and make sure it's really on the edge, because they're going to butt up to each other, so you really don't want them to be off. And then I'm just going to squash it down, and you do need to do that. I usually have a cloth which is here, just bear with, it's a little bit dirty actually, a bit of ink in over there. I just need to just get the cloth and just use the cloth, and then you don't put fingerprints if you've got glue. And also you can rub any glue, because I'm using a matte cardstock, it does show, look, so you just give it a rub, just squash it all down, make sure it's gone. And because it's going onto metallic card, it is you know, black and white would probably be a good start for you guys. But just to show you what to do, that's how you do that half. Now what you need to do with the other half is obviously you want it in the same place. So what I now do is I put my cardstocks together how they're going to be, flip them over, and then we butt them right up together, and you can see there are a different match of cardstock. So we butt them up together, and then I'll tape them in place. So I'm just going to grab my tape, and I've got liner tape, so I'm going to go across it actually, because I can put glue etc on it at the end. Make it, just going to spin that around because I think that's a little bit crooked, that one. Yeah, that's better. That's probably the way I cut it initially, not just then. So you just get them to be matched, and then pop your tape over. Get them really nice and tight together as well. Now there will always be a little bit of light shining through, but as soon as you put it onto a card base, it won't show, trust me. So what we've got is we've already got our layer, look, to go, and you can see that this one is obviously now going to go on the other side. So we do the same thing, and we know where the edge is now, so we can butt this up to the other die. So again, just pop the glue all around, especially this edge, like that, down the centre, and then all up the laurel leaf. Just smudge it around to get it going on that edge. The other reason to smudge it is when you squash it, like, because I don't do it properly, that's when you get a little bit shining through. So now you turn your card around so it's comfortable for you. You're going to do the same thing, and obviously you can use tweezers for this. So now we're going to be butting it back up into place exactly where it belongs, up to that one there, like that. So you can see already. Just going to get my cloth, it's got ink. I've got glue all over my fingers. Just going to squash that. Hello, Rolly Top. Nice to meet you. Mucho gusto. Ha ha. Sorry guys, loosen my marbles a bit. It's my age. So there we go. You can see now we've got it done. I'm gold and silver. It's probably the wrong colour choice. I should have done black and white. That would have shown you guys a lot better, wouldn't it? And then you just pop them back on to the card. And here I'm going to remove that and get it a little bit closer when I mat and layer it. Just push it over. Sorry, I'm doing it out of shot. Didn't realise. And then we pop that down like that, and you can see you've got your mat and layer. Let me hold it up so you can see. You can see there when they're stuck down properly. It looks great, doesn't it? So you've got that switch, opposite negative. So have a go at this, guys, because it's a little bit different. Thanks for your support again, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.